In the spirit of spooky season, I wanted to design some Halloween themed nails. So this is the rough sketch I did of how I wanted them to turn out before I set out to actually start painting. I wanted them to have kind of a retro cutesy feel to them. So I went ahead and completed the first set, or the first hand off camera, so that I would have a guide for the other hand, since the sketch that I made is on the phone that I record with. So I did a matte top coat, and I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm gonna match it up to the gloss when I finish the other ones. Before I put a top coat on, I'm gonna match them up and see what I prefer. Because I think I liked them better gloss, but we'll see. I really don't like how the crow one turned out, so hopefully I can do a better job on the other hand. The first step with a fresh set is to buff them out. And this buffing block has definitely seen better days. There's a puppy barking outside. Alright, that should be fine. I'm just gonna brush off all the dust. There's a dog hair. We don't want dog hairs getting in the polish. Alright, foundation. Pre-buffing the nails also makes it much easier to tell if you've got the whole nail covered, because it goes from matte to gloss, so you can easily see if there's any spot that's still matte. Whereas if you don't use, or if you don't buff them and you just put them on top, it could peel off for one, the polish. For two, it's harder to tell if you fully covered them with the foundation. Okay, these are gonna cook for a minute. Alright, now we're gonna add the base colors. So we have black, and black goes on the, black goes on the thumbnail and the middle, and apparently the table as well. The first coat is always so translucent. I always need to do more than one. I'm running out of black too, so I actually need to get more. Black and white get used up so fast. Because they get added to a lot of colors. Alright. Then this golden yellow. For the pointer and ring. This also needs a couple coats. nothing on the end of the nail. And then the last one is kind of a mix of grays. So I'm gonna do a light gray, or a lighter gray first, and then after it goes under the UV, after it cures, add a darker gray over top. Okay. Into the cooker. Alright, time for the second coat. Look how much darker it looks like. How much more opaque just from 2 coats compared to this one. I think 2 coats is enough. Should be. Yeah, I think that's good for the black. Tipped over another bottle. Luckily the top is on it. Okay, there we are. Now just the darker gray. And if this, no, I don't think it's too dark. Just paint it over. Alright. It is darker than the other one, so maybe I'll go over it again with the lighter one. Alright. So I think I'm going to start with these 2. So I'll put them on separate stands. And then let me see if this is still usable. It's pretty gummy. But I think it'll work. At least for the pumpkin at the bottom. How far up did I do it? I might do it a little bit lower this time. Because I really don't like how the crow turned out. But it could be because I made it too far to the right. I'll need another layer over this anyway. because I did the guide hand a day ago. So all the mixing I did before is mostly dry or very tacky. I love designing nails like this, but it does take a very long time. Like, I cannot complete these in one session. Maybe I'll get quicker the more I do it. Alright, this goes in the UV. Okay, I just made this color using gray, a tiny bit of maroonish color, and white. And it's just slightly less than halfway up. Yeah, so if I showed every single step, it would be a very, very long video. Which personally, yeah, I wouldn't mind, but my phone just doesn't have the capacity to record that much and then edit, because I do have to edit out all of the sound, and the editing app I use doesn't actually save, like, it doesn't download or upload the video to it, so you have to keep it in your library until you export the new one. So I have enough room space to record the initial video, but I wouldn't have enough to export it. Yeah, I just have to edit out a lot of traffic, and anytime people are outside shouting or dogs barking. If the dog's barking isn't too loud, sometimes I'll just leave it in. Same with the people yelling, like if it doesn't pick up too much, I'll just leave it in. But traffic, for some reason, the traffic picks up really, really well. Right? Not a whole lot. Even that might be too much. Let's see. Okay, that should be good enough. It's completely different, I think. But that's okay. We'll live with it. I mean, I don't really care much if the two hands are slightly different, because unless you put your hands right next to each other purposely to compare them, you wouldn't notice in most cases. There, that should be fine. I think I'm going to just start the ghost real quick. Love the background. So make the tree branches. I think I made that. I think I'm just gonna do them differently. You don't have to really be exact. Make a little split at the end of the bow. Like that. I don't know, this ghost might end up being shorter. Okay, that's good. And then yeah, I kind of don't want them to be the same now that I think about it. I do need to make another branch right there. Just a small one. I'll just make another one right there to make it less weird. Alright. I think just one more like that. Should do it. Now for the crow. I mean, it's a raven. I don't know why I keep calling it a crow. There is a difference. Let me do the lines on the pumpkin. Oh, I did them black on the other one. So I'll just do black again. And I'm gonna outline it. Well, I should wait until I do the crow to do the outline. I'll just do the black right now. It kind of looks more like a basketball since it's so dark. Trying to better orient it. Because I really don't like how it turned out on the other hand. It was just very off center. I think I actually made it dark gray on the other one so that the eyes would show up. Maybe I'll just make the eyes gray on this one instead, or I can just add gray over top of it in certain spots. Yeah, I know the shape doesn't really look like a crow at all. Or I mean a raven. My goodness.
didn't notice, I'm not exactly going for realism here. Okay, that's a general shape of them. And then here we'll do, you know, I don't know if I even need to go over them a second time. They look fine. I'll just add that's actually a little more orange, I think. These are kind of hard to do because of how small they are. They try to blend together. Like the separations at the end, they try to mold together. Alright. Looks kind of busy. Just gonna separate these two. This crow is part Bigfoot. Raven. Alright, the beak. can't make it completely white. It's off-white. Just blob the ghost on here. Just blob him on there. That other color's bleeding into my ghost. Oh my goodness, I'm messing up. It's okay. Should be okay. Alright. For the raven's eyes, I'm going to what am I gonna do? Let's take some white maybe and go. Oh my goodness. If I can outline this pumpkin. Good. Dark gray to it to demark some things like the wing. Just give him a little bit of variance in his color here. There. Now I'll make the leaves that are falling around him. Just gonna randomly put them on here. I think this ghost is gonna have a bigger pumpkin by the look of it. Yeah, that's a huge pumpkin. First, I'm gonna make a line through. was the hardest part on the last set, because they're just so small. Doing an outline is really difficult, because you can't really get, well, I can't really get the fine detail, and then it ends up blending together like that. It's also more difficult because I have to keep it in frame. I mean, I don't have to. I don't know why a ghost can carry a pumpkin. I don't know why it doesn't just fall through it. Ghost physics are weird. You know, ghosts they don't follow the same physics as we do. They actually are on another plane of existence. So typically when they interact with our plane of existence, somehow this one found a way to transcend the laws of this plane of physics, and he was able to pick up a pumpkin. Or it's just a, you know, a trick-or-treater wearing a costume. There's many ways we can explain this away, you know. Could just be a kid in a sheet. Alright, I think I'm making these lines way too thick. See, you gotta go over them twice because they're kind of translucent. If you just do one coat, so I like to blob it over after I get the general shape solidified. It also helps to have a layer underneath. It helps grab it and hold it in place better. Like if I would have blobbed this on without the underneath layer, it would be bleeding everywhere. But that underneath layer holds the gel in place. So there's the stem. Yeah, all the UV time I'm probably gonna cut out because it's just so unnecessary. It's just waiting. Like I just used a light green for the leaves. That was a big dab. A little more than was necessary. Actually, a lot more than was necessary. The ghost is done. Yeah, I think so far I'm liking the gloss better. What do you think? Alright, and then for the pumpkin head, did I just use straight up? Yeah, I think I just used this color straight for the sweater, along with the green. So So the green is like olive green. I'm gonna get the general shape of the cat first. So I don't know if that's as high up as I made the other one. Like as high up on the nail. Maybe it's fine. And then here on this part is the back leg and the front. It's much less narrow. Oh, oops. Much less narrow than the other one. More like that. Then the ear. Wait, this looks way different. Hold on. That's the other leg. We gotta do the tail. It sounds like someone's like getting ready to start a lawnmower or something. So that's exciting. Dude, what am I doing? Maybe that's a bird. I don't know what think I'm just gonna go with that for now. Alright. Maybe I should use the dark gray. Honestly, I feel like I should use the dark gray on the other one because it's just to indicate that that's two legs and to carve out the head here. You can see it good enough, I think, with the dark gray, where it also looks more realistic. I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm not going for realism, but a black cat is usually like a mix of very dark gray, blues, and black, of course. That looks good enough for me. I'm actually gonna, because the outline looks thick down here, I'm just gonna. My hands are really unsteady today for some reason. Do you ever have days where your hands are just more unsteady than others? It's weird. Alright, get that one cooking. I'm gonna add the next color here on the sweater. You know what? I think I'm just gonna make all of the brown lines right now. Alright. Now get the green in there. I'm gonna have to adjust the brown. I made it too far inward. Alright, the cat eyes I just made bright yellow. pupils. Alright, that looks good. Right, the cat, we just need to add the leaves. This part was really tricky. So, I don't know if I'm gonna do the same colors again. I think I'm just gonna do red, basic yellow, and the maroon color. Because these are really hard to do. Because they're so small. Like I made that one way too big. But it's really hard not to. Just gonna give the sides 2 points instead. Who's gonna notice or complain, right? Maybe it's a pump actually. I don't know. All I know is it's loud and I hope it's not picking up, but it probably is because usually stuff does. It sounds like a power tool. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the flowers on the skirts. I don't know what kind of hair we just picked up there. Oops. Oh well. I thought I had a smaller thingy. I don't know what this tool is called, but I thought I had a smaller one. It's fine, it's fine. It's gonna make the start of another one there because it was too far over. And let's try to make the yellow leaves. Oh yeah, that shows up much better. It's very close to that red one. That's okay though. We had one right here. It's kind of a blob. just do one peeking out like that. Maybe do one right here too, to even out the color. Just put the, oh my gosh, we got more hair. Looks like it came from a cotton pad. Definitely not my dog's hair. I'd recognize it anywhere because there's so much of it everywhere. Alright, that's fine. And then we just have to add the brown. Just gonna add a little bit more to that card because there wasn't much left. And then we'll just add the last ones. Okay, this one's way more busy than the other one. I'm just gonna add a final red one right here. Just peeking like that. Alright, so the cat one is done. Alright. I think that's about right. Well, one arm's longer than the other, so let me fix that. This one. Just gonna use a brown. Looks like a butt. And it's a little dark. Actually, it's a lot darker than the other one. Okay. Comes up about a third of the way. Oops. hands. Let me do the jack-o'-lantern face first because I don't want to accidentally put my hand in it. If I do it first, if that makes sense. Okay. The eyes are much bigger on this one than the other one. Now either this person is ghostly pale or they have gloves on, but the neck is extremely light too, so I think they're just ghostly pale. This one's definitely a bit different. Well, it always happens like this. Alright, now fill that in a little bit because it was quite a dip right there. And then make the stalks for the flower, or the flowers. I think they're supposed to be daffodils, those orange flowers. I think they're called daffodils. Do the other ones upside down so I don't accidentally put my hand in the other ones and smear them. I don't know why that one's so weird and long and skinny. I can just tell someone's about to start making a lot of noise outside. screen, so it's way bigger. Oh my gosh, I barely have any room. I'm not gonna be able to fit the bat on its nose. But I don't really want to redo it. Pumpkin head is done. So now the last one is the dog. Alright, next. Let's just get the outline out of the way, because that's the most tedious part. Okay, let's see. Oops. I made that way too far apart. And that's too much black right there. That's all messed up. That looks terrible. Take away his neck bones because I made his head too big. Or because I made him just too long. It's very weird shaped. Very odd skeletal structure going on here. Some would say it's a whole new species. I'm gonna shrink his head by, oh no. I'm gonna shrink his head by making the black outline ride the white instead of go around it. Let's give him an eyeball. And an ear hole. Alright, now the pumpkin head is done. Alright, now I'm gonna do the moon. Some more of the yellow. I think I'm gonna make it white first so that it's more obvious. Just because the background kind of, the yellow's a little bit translucent. Maybe you'll still be able to tell this is a bat. I don't know. Into the cooker. Alright, I'm gonna make the bat darker and outline the moon. So I'll outline them. Oh wait, I have to make the moon yellow first. Forgot about that. just the yellow by itself would not have really shown up against that golden yellow background. The outlines are the hardest part for me, which is why I'm trying to do so many of them. Because if you suck at something and you want to be good at it, you have to practice, or you'll never get good. I want to be able to do outlines. I'm just not very good at it at the moment. But the more of them I do, the better I'll get. So there's one right here. 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 And one right here. And, I'm just gonna add another one right here. There. Alright, that's our skeleton dog. And it looks like everything's complete. So this is them finished. The matte ones on top are the first hand I did, and the bottom ones are the ones I did on camera. The thing that bothers me is that if you just use regular gel and not like builder gel or the hard gel, when you put the top coat on, all that texture goes away. So you see the texture on the bottom set, that's going to be gone once I put the top coat on. We'll see if they look that different once they both have a top coat. Alright, now that they both have glossy top coat on, I definitely stand by what I said. I prefer this dog for the pumpkin head. I like the first one better. For the skeleton dog, I like the first one better. For the ghost, I like the second one. For the cat, I like the second one. And for the crow, I like the second one. I think they turned out pretty close to what the prototype, or close to what my sketch depicted, so I'm not mad. Could have done a little bit better. Alright, so that's it for the video. As always, thank you for watching. I hope that you'll join me for the next one. And I hope that life is kind to you.